Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for evening session on chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita. So today we are doing this ongoing program, 18 days Gita Gyan program, and today is Saturday, August 3rd. Okay, so we gathered here to discuss on chapter 2. Of course, this morning we had a very nice discussion from 9:15 to 11:15, 11:20 actually. So again, we're going to continue the discussion. Zoom user, may I know what's your name? Maybe I can help you to change your name. You changed it. All right, thank you. So, so today, as you know, today is a very auspicious day. Today is RD 18 Perukku. All right. So today is the day that you can see that it's a day that everything is very high, especially the gravitation is very high. You can see that today the sea will be all on a high tide and all these things, right? And for those who are married women, today is the day they change their sacred thread, right? The marriage thread, tali. So a lot of festivals, celebrated here today. And tomorrow also is another auspicious day, Adi Amavasya. So the black moon. So tomorrow they're going to do prayer to the departed. It's a day that usually the Hindus will do the prayer for the departed soul. Okay. Of course, tomorrow morning we don't have a program. Morning session is no, but we have evening session. So I hope that all of you will come and we discuss on this Bhagavad Gita and just meditate on all your forefathers. Okay. Some of you know, some of you don't know, because usually like 7 forefathers, 5 forefathers. We don't know. We just pray and dedicate all our readings and all our studies on this particular chapter to the forefather, because this is very, very auspicious to study Bhagavad Gita. Because when you want to say, example, the orthodox typical way of doing this Shraddha for the forefathers is like this. Only can be done by men. Okay. And it has to be done in Gaya or near Ganga. Okay, that's the best. Of course, we are not in India. We are very far away. And it has to be done by a very qualified priest. In Malaysia, we don't know whether we doubt the qualification of the priest. These people go to this Ganapati Puram or something like that in South India. They go and learn this some ritual, come back and they start to do this kind of ritual. We don't know. Okay, number one. And another thing, say like if the person doesn't have a son, how can the girl do this kind of Shraddha program? They say cannot. But nowadays they say you don't have a choice because you're still a child. You can do it. Okay, fair enough. Just do it. But the problem is, if tomorrow when you want to do Shraddha ceremony, what happens if the woman is going through this menstrual period, menstruation? You can't do that. So there's a lot of challenges. But let me tell you something. If we, Tanisha, Hare Krishna, yes. But if we study Bhagavad Gita, when we discuss Bhagavad Gita, the benefit of this Bhagavad Gita is far more superior than any Shraddha ceremony. You know, as you say that, as you know, I think tomorrow, chapter 3, Gita Mahatmya, we study that studying Bhagavad Gita is equivalent to bathing in Ganga. Okay, it's equivalent to taking a bath or dip in Ganga. So what we can do on tomorrow, we can just dedicate ourselves. Anybody who are nearby, any ISKCON temple, like in KL, you can go. Those who are in Ipoh, you can join us tomorrow in Ipoh. There'll be a discussion on Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have any such facility, go and read the Bhagavad Gita. Study the Bhagavad Gita on your own. Okay. Then if you don't have Bhagavad Gita, if you don't have Bhagavad Gita, of course, you can buy it from me. All right. Later, I'll tell you what is the price, the fantastic price we are distributing. Then you also can go to this thing called the vedabase.com. Vedabase, VEDABASE.io. You can go there. You can also read the Bhagavad Gita online. Okay. There's a lot of ways to do it. But the most important, even if you want to go and do the ritual, go ahead. There's no doubt about it. But please do not forget to study Bhagavad Gita, because studying Bhagavad Gita supersedes every rituals. Okay. So that's a thought of the day. Okay. So that's a thought of the day. So let's start chapter 2. Chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is considered one of the longest chapters, total 72 verses. And the second, another longest chapter is chapter 18. All the other chapters in between should be around 30 to 40 verses. So this is the long verse. Just to recap what happened, what we have discussed yesterday. Arjuna was depressed because he need to fight against his own kinsmen. All right, that was a question that you can ask a question. I mean, don't these kind of great personality like Dronacharya, Bhishma knew that this Duryodhana or Dhritarashtra is a nasty person? Yes, they know. They know. Because we must understand, Kshatriya or the warrior will never take back on their word, even though they are standing on the wrong side. Like Bhishma knew very well, the Duryodhana, the grandson, is a foolish person, and he know that he's going to be defeated. He knew, and yet he stand by the side of Duryodhana. Why? What is the reason? Okay, why all these great personalities, even though they know that Duryodhana is the wrong person, but why they stand there? Because Duryodhana is a very cunning politician, very intelligent politician, actually, very, very intelligent, super intelligent. So Duryodhana, Karna, Arjuna, all were growing up in the same kingdom, and they were brought up by this grandfather Bhishma. Duryodhana, the Pandavas, that means the Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nagula, Sahadeva, the 5 brothers, the Pandavas, became an orphan at a very young age when the father passed away. Their mother Kunti Devi became a widow at a very young age, and Dhritarashtra knew that these people, they are going to be the heir to the kingdom, the Kuru dynasty. So they plotted so many ways to kill them. And who protected them? The grandfather Bhishma protected them from all angles. They protected him, protected the children, and including the daughter-in-law, everything he protected. So when such a grandfather standing right in front of him and getting ready to fight, it broke his heart, Arjuna's heart. Right? Why? Because during those days, when the kings and everything, whoever come and visit, they used to come to Hastinapura, the kingdom of Kaurava. So they come there, the capital of Kaurava. So they whenever they come, they jokingly tell, Duryodhana, if at all, if you go to war, if you have any issues, remember, I will be standing at your side. Just jokingly they say, I'll be with you. And some says, Arjuna, if you have any issues, make sure you call me. I'm your friend. I'll stand with you. It was just a joking gesture or say like that. But Duryodhana kept it. So when during the war, he went and campaigned. Before the war started, he went and campaigned with all the ministers, all the kings around the world. He said, do you remember once you told me if I have any conflict, you're going to stand by my side? Yes, jokingly. Now you have to keep your word. Oh my God. So they had no choice. Reluctantly, they have to come and agree, says, oh my God, even though I'm standing on the wrong side, but as a Kshatriya, once the word is given, you can't take back. Example, Kshatriya. What is Kshatriya means? Kshatriya means warrior. And what is their dharma? What is their nature? Whenever they are challenged, they have to take the challenge. They cannot say no. They cannot compromise. Okay. One of the extreme example of being Kshatriya is during the gamble. Okay. When Saguni is a maternal uncle for Duryodhana, or in other words, in Tamil, we call Thai Maman. Okay, he was there. He's there. Then he was very upset that his sister Gandhari married a blind man, and she went and tied the eyes, and she was so upset. So he really wanted the nephew Duryodhana to be the king. So, but he got some mystic dice made from the bone. He had the mystic dice, and he's always thinking about taking revenge on these Kauravas. So he took that thing and he just played dice, indirectly cheated this Yudhishthira. Because when he said, hey, Yudhishthira, if you're man enough, come fight with me, come play dice. So when the thing is challenged, you have no choice but to come and accept the challenge. You have to come, hey, I have to fight. But when he came, he wanted to fight. So when he went into the dice, he started to lose everything. He lost his kingdom, he lost his everybody. He started losing one by one. Then after that, he said, now, what else are you going to bet? Why not you bet your brothers? Then he says, oh my God, because as a Kshatriya, you have to take the challenge. He said, now I bet my brother. Then after that, they said, why not you bet your wife? Oh my God. Then he bet his wife. Everything's gone. So after everything is gone, he said, now you go into exile. They throw him away. Okay. They throw him away. And of course, they know that he's been tricked and everybody knows, but no choice. Because that's the dharma of Kshatriya. When the Kshatriya is called for a challenge, they have to accept the challenge. So no choice, they went into war. No, I mean, they lost everything. But after that, I mean, after the 16 years of exile, they come back, they want to do this thing. And Duryodhana, I mean, Dhritarashtra knew very well that these brothers will somehow or other come back. And he tried all kinds of ways and means to kill them. So one of that sensational story that I don't know whether you heard or not. It is when they create a wax castle, the castle made of wax. They thought they're going to send all these people there and burn down the castle so that all the brothers will be killed. So that time Vidura, the youngest brother of Dhritarashtra, the king's youngest brother his name is Vidura. So he heard about it. He came and alerted these boys, and some or other 5 of them escaped death. Okay. So like that, Dhritarashtra tried many ways and means to kill him, but some or other he couldn't do it. Okay, because he's been protected by all these great people. And now when he start to see the great people standing right in front of him, he's so heartbroken. He refused to fight. He said, I'd rather become a beggar. I'd rather go into the jungle and meditate. And I don't see any kind of happiness killing them, winning the thing. All right. So all these things, he has been grumbling. And he was so heartbroken. He fell down, break down, cried. His hair was disheveled. The hair disheveled. He just don't know what to do. He just like sat there. He said, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And now starting chapter 2. And this now Krishna is going to start speaking. And his chapter 2 is considered the summary of the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever things that you find in chapter 2 will be elaborated in all that other 18 chapters. 16 chapters from now. All this elaboration will happen from what we have studied from chapter 2. So before we start our studies, we will do this Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan means it's a auspicious invoking auspiciousness. So by showing our gratitude to our spiritual master, to Acharyas or Parambara. In our Parambara, there's Acharyas. We show our gratitude to them. We show we pay our gratitude to Lord Krishna and to all the personalities, so that without their blessings, we might not get this opportunity of studying Bhagavad Gita. All right. So, so we do this invocation mantra. So all of you just close your eyes and just say thank you from the bottom of your heart. Just show your gratitude, because gratitude is the basis of survival. I mean, it's a basis. If we are not grateful to anything that we have in our life, not only here, but anywhere in life, you can never grow. We can never go far in life. All right. Some or other, okay, like for instance, we celebrate Pongal. What is the Pongal? We are showing gratitude to the sun. We are offering our gratitude to the wind, gratitude to the fire, gratitude to the grain, gratitude to the milk. Because without all these things, we couldn't cook. We wouldn't survive. But everybody says, oh, it's a harvest festival. No, it's a festival of gratitude. We are offering our gratitude to all these personalities. All right. And okay, then we do a lot of like for instance, when we're going to celebrate our National Day, in another maybe 28 days, 28, yeah, around 28 days from now. So that's what we're going to celebrate. Murdeka, no, we're going to show our gratitude to all that person who sacrificed their life to keep this country peaceful. All right. So that is what is gratitude is all about. So let's close, fold your hand, just meditate, and let's offer our gratitude. I will explain to you the first mantra, and other than that, others, we just continue with the recitation. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. What does this mantra means? I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes, which were blinded, okay, by the darkness of ignorance. Okay, in Bhagavad Gita, that's what we're going to do. We're going to remove that darkness of ignorance, okay, with the torchlight of knowledge. So, okay, so that's a mantra. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devidaitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruda Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Nama Om Vishnu Pad Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees who can fulfill the desire of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody just follow me. Let's chant Hare Krishna 3 times. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Okay, so with that, now we start our today's conversation. Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. Just give me a second. Hare Krishna, am I audible? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Oh, suddenly my mic. All right. Okay. Okay. So today, we're going to continue our discussion on Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. All right. So we offer our obeisances to Sri Nitai Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the resident deity of SJM KL, ISKCON Kuala Lumpur. Okay. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And also, I would like to dedicate this program to my dear friend and God brother, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON Sheshadipuram, who is the creator and the brainchild of this essence of Gita Gyan program worldwide. Okay, let's look at today's Mahatmya. Okay, as you know that Gita Mahatmya means the glories of Bhagavad Gita. And let's see what is the second Mahatmya or the glories, or in Tamil we call Magimei. Gidai Magimei. All right. So it says Gita Dhyana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Shantihi Papani Purva Janma Kritanicha. Purva Janma Kritanicha. It says, if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely, that means we have to mark this word sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of past misdeeds will not act upon him. Okay. So as you know, that we are all suffering and enjoying whatever things that we are enjoying and suffering now, it is basically what we have accumulated from our previous birth. Okay. So we have gone through this birth so many times. Of course, this we will also discuss in Bhagavad Gita as we go on. How many times have we taken birth? We have passed through this life so many times. There are a total of 8.4 million species. And out of 4 million species, there are 400,000 types of human species. In human species alone, got 400,000 types, varieties. So we have gone through all these paths. Okay. And whenever we pass through a certain life, there are so many things that we have accumulated, good and bad karma. We have accumulated some good deeds and also we accumulated some bad deeds. And all of them are stored in a big, huge warehouse. Okay. Which is a warehouse and is awaiting to fructify. So what happened? What does that mean? So in other words, in our previous birth karma, we call that as the prarabdha karma. We call this as prarabdha karma. This prarabdha karma means, okay, can you all see? I hope you all can see this. Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means the karma that we have been accumulated in previous birth, but we are keeping it in a warehouse waiting to fructify. All right. Or in Malay, we call berchamba, tunggu berchamba. When the thing going to berchamba, we don't know. So whatever good or bad things that we are going through now, maybe it happened maybe 10 births ago, that thing we have done. And whatever we are going to doing now, maybe we're going to enjoy it maybe in another 10 or 20 births down the road. We may not know. So that is the thing. So here Krishna says that if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely, all right, you must understand this word sincerely. It is not mere reading, but sincerely reads Bhagavad Gita. And with all seriousness, that means we have to really pay attention. Word by word, we start to read and understand. So now by the grace of the Lord, what he says, Lord Shiva says, the reaction, the karma, the reaction of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. So that means, in other words, we are looking at the possibilities of karma getting destroyed. So all the prarabdha karma is getting removed. So there are too many, there are few ways that we can remove our prarabdha karma. One of it is when we read Bhagavad Gita with seriousness, fair enough. Secondly, when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. As we go on, we also will discuss that in later chapters. What is the advantage of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? When we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we see that prarabdha karma destroyed at once. Okay. So these are the things. So in order to destroy this, all this previous birth karma, what are the rituals we can do? We can go to Ganga, we can go to India, we have to spend so much of money. We do some special puja, special yagya, and also God knows whether the priest knows what he's talking about, whether he's chanting the right mantra or not. Right? We don't know. So all these things we have to, there's a lot of challenges that we see. And end of the day, what is the result? The result is a big question mark. All right. The result is always a question mark, whether to know whether I am getting benefit or not. It's always a question mark. But here it's very clearly said. When we're going to read and study Bhagavad Gita, we can expect the past misdeeds will not act upon you. The second karma that we talk about is, Kutta karma. Okay, what does Kutta karma means? Kutta karma means the karma that we are accumulating in this life. Our good habit, bad habit, or whatever. All right, whatever that we accumulate in this life. So where we can see the Kutta Karma, we can see now palm. When you look at your palm, you see, oh, what is happening? What are the things the line is showing is what you are yet to enjoy or suffer in this current birth. So how are we going to destroy Kutta Karma? By clapping while chanting Hare Krishna. When you go for Kirtan, when you just chant, you just clap, just like when you see a, what they call bird, you just clap, all the birds will fly away. So similarly, when we clap, especially in Kirtan, we start to see all the scenes, all the karma that we have been like, all start flying away. So these are this is what it means. Okay. Now, so today, okay, so we understand that reading Gita reduce or remove our previous birth karma. All right, so let's look at the understanding of Gita. So the Bhagavad Gita is best, okay, understood by a person who have qualities similar to Arjuna. Okay, now we're talking about serious studies, right? Just now we saw serious studies, but what are the things? What are the qualities? So here we understand that Bhagavad Gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. And what is that quality actually? That is to say, he must be a devotee in a direct relationship. All right, he has to be a devotee in a direct relationship with the Lord. So as soon as one becomes a devotee of the Lord, he also has a direct relationship. That is a very elaborate subject matter. It's very elaborate, but briefly, it can be stated that a devotee is in relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of these 5 different ways. Okay, a person can be a devotee in 5 different ways. Number one may be a devotee in a passive state, right? Just come, okay, listen, just like not actively involved, passive. One may be a devotee in active state, actively involved. And one may be a devotee as a friend. And one may be a devotee as a parent. And one may be a devotee as a conjugal lover. Sometimes we can see, right? People like worship Krishna like a boyfriend. So these are the 5 ways how we can be the devotee to Krishna. Okay, so with that, let's talk about chapter 2. It's a very important chapter. And okay, in this chapter, we look at the title of the chapter is Contents of Gita Summarized. Okay, all right, 2.1. So now we see, now Sanjaya start to speak. Okay, Sanjaya start to speak because after the first chapter, after all the thing happened, now Sanjaya start to speak. Okay, as I told you yesterday, I'm going to recite the verse, and then after that, you're going to recite, you're going to follow. Okay, it's very auspicious to recite the verse. Okay, but of course, keep yourself muted. Sanjaya Vacha.
Sanjaya Vacha.
Tang tata kripaya vishtam.
Tam tata kripistastu.
Ashru purna kule kshanam.
Ashru purna kulesanam.
Vishidantam idang vakyam.
Vishidantam idam vakyam.
Uvacha Madhusudana.
Vacha Madhusudana.
Very good. All right. So in this verse, what we understand, Sanjaya said, now Sanjaya is saying, seeing Arjuna full of compassion. Okay. Now what happened? Arjuna is full of compassion because he's so sorry. All right. He's so sorry to see his family members are there ready to fight. Okay. So Arjuna full of compassion. Okay. Then his mind depressed. Now you can see here that actually Arjuna's mind is very depressed. He's very sad. Okay. His eyes full of tears. That means he's crying. Imagine such a soldier start crying. So Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. So what we can understand from this? Krishna is not an Arjuna is not an ordinary person. This is not his first war. Okay. Arjuna got another name called Dhananjaya, the one who wins what they call victory over wealth. Okay, so he has fought so many wars, and it's not the first war, but today he is in a very depressed state. So my dear friends, depression is something very common in this modern society. Okay, all of us, or not to say all of us, but we know someone, and we know someone who are going through depression. Depression became something very common problem. All right, common problem. Today I got my friends, my wife's friend came to visit, and she's telling the psychology, they are so much short of psychologists, not psychiatrists, psychologists, because they start to understand that depression is on a very alarming state. So why is that depression is happening? Depression is such a terrible kind of disease. Okay, when the depression is happens when we have so much of expectation, and why that expectation is because of attachment. When we are attached to someone, then we expect something from that. When that expectation is not fulfilled, naturally man's go into depression. Okay, so man's go into depression. Okay, oh sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, so the man goes into depression. So depression is becoming very common. So what is that cure for depression? Okay, there are so many drugs, there's so many ways. Just to keep ourselves happy, we are spending so much of money. We are spending millions of ringgit. We are spending most of our wealth. Just sit and think. How many percent of your wealth you are utilizing to at least keep you happy? Sometimes they say, I want to keep myself happy, so I'm going to go for my favorite meal. Right? First 1 week after the salary, you can see all the restaurants are packed. Because they say, after slogging for 1 month, now I got my salary, this is the time for me to indulge. Okay, sometimes when you look at the Facebook and all the social media, these crazy people going around and showing how people eat, you know, like nasi kanda and all these. So sure, I don't know, understand what does it mean, sure. All right. So all these kind of nasty things people are going around promoting and indulging food, you know. Mama, 50 ringgit, what he can serve? And the fellow give one balang. And that balang full of meat and everything, imagine. All right, because they feel I deserve to enjoy. So these are the things, kind of suffering and this kind of depression. These are the things that happening. All right. But what happens suddenly if they lost their job? It's all going to depression. So now Arjuna is kept into a situation where he's severely depressed. Okay. He is severely depressed because he was so heartbroken to see that his family members that he worshipped is in front of him ready to fight. It's a kind of betrayal. But in Kali Yuga, betrayal is very common. Okay, we voted for certain party thinking that party going to help us, but the party now turn back and do something else. Betrayed. All right. When we go to school, we are expecting our friend to do something. We are betrayed. All right. Then whatever expectation you have, even the worst betrayal is your own senses on your own body. Even our body, our senses, nature, environment, everything is betraying. What is betrayal? Expecting something and that person is just opposite, they act against that expectation. All right, he's such a good friend and I have so much of faith in him and I tell him secret, but the flow, what you do, he betray you by telling the secret out to somebody else. That means acting against your expectation. All right, so when he was expecting all his family members supposed to be on his side, suddenly he's so shocked to see that they all are there waiting to fight. And in that depression, such a great valiant warrior, he's crying. So depression can happen to anyone. It's not only for weak-hearted or faint-hearted, even a great personality. Then now Krishna start to speak. Let's see what he says. 2.2. Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Kutastva kashmalam idam.
Utastha kasmalamidam.
Vishame samupastitam.
Vishame samupashtitam.
Anarya justam asvargyam.
Anarya justam asvargyam.
Akirti karam Arjuna.
Akiri karam Arjuna.
So now the word that we should look into it, this word kasmalam. All right, in Tamil we sometimes use think this word is like a bad word, kasmalo. Hey, kasmalo. They say, hey, why are you using this kind of word? It's quite a nasty, bad word. No, kashmala means what? The impurities, abominable. All right, we can say, okay, dirty, dirty, nasty, whatever bad things, right? All these unfortunate, I mean, this kind of negativity and all these things. So now Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalam Idam. He's saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? So now he's speaking out of, he's chastising, surprise, shocked, anger, all this. Now we all start to fight and suddenly they say, hey, what happened to you, man? How can this impurity come upon you? All right. Why? So they are not a befitting a man who knows the value of life. Okay. The man who knows the value of life. That means Arjuna was such a great valiant warrior and he knows what is Kshatriya Dharma. For Kshatriya, the beauty is the mark on the face. The what they call? The wound. There's a cut here, there's a cut here, the cut around the body. That wound shows that he's a great warrior and he has attended many wars. That's something, that's their what they call ornament. For Brahmana, what is that ornament? Knowledge. When he can start to speak in such a scholarly way, that is that ornament for the Brahmanas. And what is ornament for the Vaishyas, the business people? Luxury, gold, nice, fine dress, right? The amount of cows. This is the things that is the ornament for this thing. And what is the ornament for the Shudras? The amount, the way that they serve their master. So that means they know that you are a Kshatriya, and you know what? Kshatriya always ready to fight. They can't wait. They are just waiting when the war is going to start. And Kshatriya, when they go to war, they don't expect to come back alive. They have so much of ego, so much of passion that they want to be killed in action. They want to be known as the great warrior, not come back alive. The Kshatriya will never show the white flag of truce and say, hey, surrender, please save me. No. They will fight till their last breath, even though they know that they are on a losing side. So by knowing all these things, so he's asking, what is that? Why are you so kashmalam? Why this impurity? Right? What happened to you? Why have this impurity come upon you? And they are not befitting a man who knows the value of life. And then he said, Krishna says they lead. That means these kind of impurities are not going to lead you to the higher planet, but to infamy. Infamy means they're going to ridicule you. For a Kshatriya, when people ridicule you as a coward, is the worst disaster. It is worse than death, right? It is something so disgusting, especially for a warrior. I know I'm a Kshatriya and I'm known as the coward Kshatriya. Okay, but nowadays the soldiers, we don't say lah. They go and hide in one place. They know they will aim, sniper from far, they shoot. Oh, I'm a great warrior. How many kill I got? You get a purple heart, pink heart, or whatever heart, you know, in America and all these things. Okay. Now they are creating more and more latest, this what they call weapons, right? They're creating all kind of shield. So what? They can hide and fight. Those days, soldiers fight face to face. That is warrior. All right. So that means, so when the warrior dies, they go to the higher planet. That means when a warrior dies, they are so sure that of getting elevated to the upper planetary system. All right. That means they go to heaven or whatever extra. Right? Because they know this is my duty, and this is opportunity for me to do my service according to according to my dharma. So now 2.6. Okay. Now Arjuna start to say something. Let's see what he says. Arjuna vacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Chaitat vitmakataran nagariyo.
Naitidvima Kataranagariyo.
Yatva jayema yadiva I'm sorry. Yatva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu.
Yatva Jaima Yadiyavaya Jayo.
Yan eva hatvana jijivishamas.
Yan eva hatvana jijijivisamas.
Devastita pramuke dartarashtraha.
Deva shita pramukiri rashasa.
So when you look at this, Arjuna, when you really look at this verse, you can see the sadness in Arjuna's the word that he composed. You can feel the sadness. Na chaitad vitma kataran nagariyo yatva jayemo yadiva no jayeyuhu yan eva hatva najijivishamas Devastita pramuke dartarastaraha. That means he's singing this verse in such a depressed way. How you know? You read your Bhagavad Gita every day, you will start to feel the tone, intonation. Like just now, with the way Arjuna, Krishna is saying, hey, you Kasmalam, what are you thinking? But now here, Arjuna is telling, no. So what Arjuna says? Arjuna said, nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. Which is better, I don't know. If we kill the son of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to leave. Yet, they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So he's telling, I don't know which is better, conquer them or being conquered. You know? So now, if we kill the son of Dhritarashtra, his own kinsman, the one who lives in the same palace, grew up together. So Arjuna is saying, we should not care to leave. Okay? But still, they are there, standing before us on the battlefield. You know, what is the point? They are all our brothers, kinsmen. In Tamil, we call Pangali. Right? We grew up together. Now see them. It's no point. But they are standing right in front of me. What is happening? I'm so depressed. Okay? So Arjuna couldn't make a decision. Okay? Now, Arjuna's reason for not fighting. Okay, a recap. Okay, number one is compassion for friends and relatives. First, he had a compassion to the friends and relatives. Number two, no enjoyment even if victorious. We have studied yesterday. Fear of sinful reaction and destruction of family tradition. And now at last, the final thing is 2.6. He couldn't make a decision to fight or not to fight because he knows these people are not going to give up. They fight till the last breath. They fight till death. It is not halfway show the white flag and run away. No. So that's what he worries him. So either I kill them or they kill me. But the problem is I'm superpower. I'm such a valiant fighter. So he's afraid that these people going to die. They are it's like a suicide mission. Right? That makes Arjuna so sad. 2.7. Okay. So now Arjuna is continuing. Okay. So sadly. All right. In a very surrendered mode. What he says? Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha. Prachami twang dharma sammuda chetaha. Yajreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me. Shishyaste hamsadi mang twang prapannam. Okay, let's do it again. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha. Okay, you all done? Prachami twang dharma samuda cheta.
Pachami tam dharma samudra chita.
Yajreya shanichitam bruhitan me.
Yitraya sanishtam bruhitan me.
Shishyaste hamshadi mang twang prapannam.
Isya he hamshadi mam tam prampannam.
So what he says, now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. What is that miserly weakness? Friend, family, grandfather, teacher, father figure, brother figure, children, sons figure, all these things, you know? So I've lost my composure. That means he couldn't make a decision. He's not composed. He's confused. So now he says, doing the best thing. He said, in this condition, I am asking you to tell me what? Tell me, okay, in this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain, all right, for certain, what is best for me. All right, so he's asking, I'm asking you to tell me. He's not saying, give me suggestion. All right, give me idea. What should I do? Give me idea. Give me a suggestion. Tell me what to do. No, he said that. He said, tell me for certain what is best for me. Then after that, he continued. Shishyaste hangshadi mangtvang prapannam. Now I am your disciple. Shishya, I am your disciple. And soul surrendered unto you. So what he says, I am your disciple. So when that means I'm just saying I'm your disciple, then he says soul surrendered unto you. That means I've surrendered my intelligence, everything, I'm fully surrendered unto you. Then he used the fantastic thing. He says, please instruct me. He's not saying, please give me suggestion. So that is what we understand. When we surrender to our spiritual master, what we say, oh, dear spiritual master, teach me what to do. Or give me suggestion what to do. Guide me what to do. No. Instruct me what to do. That is what spiritual master guru is all about. Give you instruction. Just like the commander-in-chief. All right. He will give command to the general, command to the captain. What he says, now fight. Instruction. He don't call the general and says, hey, what do you think? Shall we just go and fight there or fight here? What is your suggestion? He don't ask that. After taking all the things, now go and fight. The general will tell the captain, now this is your brigade, go and fight. He won't ask, hey, dear captain, your place is okay. You got enough soldiers. Now you're going to the dangerous place. No, you want to go or not? Or shall I send somebody else? No. Go and fight means go and fight. Instruction. So Arjuna is saying, give me instruction. All right. So now, this kind of depression is something very common. All right. So what happened when the person do not surrender to the God, to the Lord, like what Arjuna did, but is trying to survive. He's trying to, what they call, he's trying to solve his problem by himself. Sometimes we don't come into any kind of solution. All right. The reality of life. Let's look at the reality of life. So I'm going to show the reality.
இன்னைக்கு ராத்திரி காலையில நீங்க வந்து பார்க்கலாம் தொங்கிக்கிட்டு கிடப்பேன் எத்தனை மணிக்கு டைம் கரெக்டா நீங்க காலையில வந்து 7 மணி 8 மணிக்கெல்லாம் நீ வந்து பார்க்கலாம் காலையில வீட்டு மணி 8 மணி சாவ போறேன் ஆமா உனக்கு தலையில அவ்வளவுதான்ற ஆமா சரி ஏன்னா நான் இப்ப 5 அடியில சுத்திக்கிட்டு கஷ்டப்பட்டுக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன் நீ வந்து 5 அடிக்காரனா இருக்கிற ஆமா நான் சரி வீட்டுல இருந்து நான் வசதியா வாழ்ந்து உனக்கு மாசம் வந்து பிஞ்சின வருது வேணாம் அதை நான் பாக்குறேன் நான் பாசத்தை தான் இது நல்லா உட்கார்ந்து
Okay, now what we understand from here, I don't know whether you have seen this video before or not. This is the person who are very frustrated and very depressed in life. And he's I think the government servant and is getting some pension. So he gathered with his friends and said he want to commit suicide. And the friends all made fun of him. They said, you're so crazy, you know, who cares your wife and everything, go lah, you know. You have money, you got pension, enjoy your life. Then he says seriously, no. I want love. I want this thing. My grandchildren are not coming to me. I want love. And he's so depressed. And he's telling, next day morning, you're going to come. You come to the town. You can see me. You come to my house. You see me that I'll be hanging. All right. So that's the reality, sad reality of life. Okay. What happened next day? This is what happened to him next day. Okay. This is what happened the next day. He actually committed suicide. So why are the people, why the suicidal is becoming very prominent? Expectation, depression, when we don't have proper knowledge how to execute life. So look at this guy. Just the day before, he started to say, and look at the house that he's very well to do. He has everything, but only thing he wanted is a love from his grandchildren, which is deprived. Okay, so that's what Arjuna is going through. This is the self reality of life. And the only solution for all these kind of things is Bhagavad Gita. Now, I want you to think about it. How many of your friends or whoever it is has got this kind of depression? Think about it. Just think one person. And you know what? Bhagavad Gita can be the greatest solution for this kind of condition. And on the month of September, we're going to start back this session again for the next 20 days. So you can think of one or two names. Maybe you can write in a piece of paper. When it comes month of September, the next batch, you tell them, come and sign up for this program because this will help you. Okay. So now, chapter 2, basically going to speak about all these things. What's the message? I have seen one Prabhu, but once I surrendered to the ultimate, things brighten my life. Yes. Okay. So now, this is the thing. Let's look at 2:11. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shochan Anvashoschaствang.
Ashoshan Ashvasosham Tamam.
Ashochan Anvashoschaствам.
Asoshan Ashvas.
Okay, so it's a tongue twister. Pranyavadangscha bhashase.
Panjavadam Chabasase.
Sun agatashungscha.
Agata sun cha.
Nanu shochanti panditaha.
Nasu Sochanti
Now
Panditata.
Bhagavan is asking, Ashochan Anvashocastvam. Pranya Vadangscha Bhasase. Bhasase means you're speaking. Bhasha, Muli, language, Bhasa, right? Gatasun Agatasumscha. So he said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned word, you are mourning for what is not worth the grief. You are mourning for something which is not worth it. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. That means the wise people do not lament for those who are living or dead. Who? The wise. Okay? Because Arjuna is start to say, killing that, killing this. So Arjuna, what is that? So that in this verse, Krishna is saying, you're speaking like a great Pandita. Pandita, learned person. But what you are mourning? You mourn for something which is not worth. Okay? Those who are wise, deceive. So what does that mean? What does it mean wise for this thing? So let's look at 2:12. Na tvevahang jatu nashang na tvang neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayang ata param. This was what it says. So Krishna is saying, never there was a time when I did not exist, nor you. That's not a time I did not exist, and neither you. Nor all the kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. That means what he says, there's not a situation that we all never existed before. We existed from time immemorial. From the day one that we fell, where we fell from, we will discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. The day that we started to come into this material world, till today, we are going through, we are existing in different varieties type of body. So the same thing, all the kings also existed before. But at the same time, in the future, we still go on existing. We will still exist. So, and even the king also will exist in the future. You understand what I mean? All right. So that's what he says. That's not a time that they didn't exist, or they will not exist. They will always exist. Of course, in different types of body. All right. So in 12-13, it's a very important verse. If you all can take a photo of this, or if you have a Bhagavad Gita, mark on 2:13, chapter 2, text 13, keep this verse and try to memorize this verse. What he says, Dehi noshmin yata dehe kaumarang yauvanang jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. What he says, as the embodied soul continuously passes, okay, as the embodied soul continuously passes from boyhood to youth to old age. The soul similarly passes into another body at the death, at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So what I'm saying is, once upon a time, we were a baby like this. Then we grew up. Then we start to crawl. Then we start to walk. Then we start to run. We are a toddler. Then we became a boy. Then we became a youth. We became a teenager. From teenager, we became a youth. From youth, we became a man. Then after become a man, and we start to dwindle. We are becoming old. We become older and older and older until a day comes, the body cannot change further. What happened? The soul leaves the body, go to another body. This process is called death. Again, when you look at this, we were like this before. As we grew up, we are going, changing and changing. The body is changing until this. Then after that, the body couldn't change further. The body start deteriorate until the day come, boom, we die. Then after that, we continue to the next level. So like that, we are going on and on and on. So Kaumaram, or in Tamil, we call Kumaran. Young. Yauvanam Jara, old people. Tata Dehantara Praptir. Dira. Dira means the body. Tatrana Muhyati. So as the embodied soul continuously passes, we are all passing. Just think when you're childhood. Just think when you're young. And look at yourself now. The feeling is still the same. But whenever we look at the photo, the face, we are surprised. Try to go back and look at all your old photos, just 5 years ago, just last year photo. When you start to look at your last year photo, you say, oh, I look like this before. Oh, then you start to show your children, see how Appa looked like before, how I look like, there is so much of changes. Changes are happening every second. Until a day comes, we couldn't change further. So Krishna says, we're going to leave and go to the next body. So why you should be bewildered? Why is that you should be lament? So 217, it says, Avinashitu tad viddhi yena sarvam idang tatam vinasham anvyayasyasya na kaschit kartum arhati. So what he says, the thing which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. You should know that this thing cannot be destroyed. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So that means there's something that stays in our heart that pervades the entire body. Right? That pervades the entire body, and that is soul. So we should understand that this thing is indestructible. Or in other words, you are the soul, but when you are living in the body, you cannot be destroyed, but your body can be destroyed. All right? So there's 217. Okay, 222. In 222, what Krishna is saying? Vashangshi jirnani yata vihaya navani grinati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sangyati navani dehi. What he says? As a person puts on new garment, giving up the old one, the soul similarly accepts new body, giving up the old and useless one. So that means we are just, the death is simply changing the body, right? Just like how you take this dress and change to a new dress. Okay, now when you go to bed, you're going to put on your pajamas. You're just changing your dress. So like that. So that means, see, when this soul, it comes and perishes and goes start back another new body. So it's going to go on and on and on. But sometimes the most scariest part is when we start to fall into this kind of animal type of body. There are 8.4 million species of life. Okay, we will discuss that as we go on. What is the 8.4 million species? In following chapters, we're going to discuss that. So now we try to understand this. So that's what Krishna is refuting. He said, why are you worried about killing them? They are existed before and will go on existing in the future. And he explained death and explained that soul that inside the body is so powerful, it can never be destroyed. So what are you destroying is just the body. And how? The death means is simply like changing dress. So once the body becomes useless, old or damaged by accident or by disease, the soul give up and go to the next one. That's it. That's all. Right? So what is that cause for the lamentation? Why we need to be worried? Why we need to be sad? All right? So now let's look at the revision. Okay, let's look at from 2.23. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon. nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Okay, chapter 2, text 23 says, now they are explaining about soul. Okay, they're explaining about the soul. That means it cannot be burnt, cannot be moistened, or cannot be withered by wind. Then in 2:24, Krishna is saying the individual soul. So you must understand this word. It's very, very important word that we have to like contemplate. What is it? These individual soul. What does that mean? What does that mean by individual soul? Okay, the individual soul means, that means you are individual person. You are not a random person. You do not merge into nothing at the end of the life. In other words, I didn't come from somewhere and I didn't go somewhere. I am an individual soul. What is an example? Jiva Atma. Jiva Atma means, that means we are the minute. Example, what is the difference between the ocean and the drop of seawater? Same. Even you take the ocean, you take the drop of seawater, both are salty. What is the difference between the fire and the spark? Same. Both fires. But the difference is the what you call the okay, the volume. Okay, volume, the sea volume, ocean volume, and the drop of seawater. Similarly, we are Jivatma, means we are part of that Paramatma, the supreme soul. So that supreme, from them, we are the minute one. Okay, so we are spiritual by nature. Okay, and we are individual. So we must understand, like sometimes they say that, you know, all the 5 fingers is not same. Sometimes when you have many children, all the 4 children will act in different way. Right? Why you are like this? Why the flow like that? Why you all cannot be like this? Cannot. We cannot say that. Because we must understand in Bhagavad Gita what it says, the individual soul means every person, they are individual. They are individual before, they remain individual, and they're going to remain individual in the future. Even you go back home, back to Godhead, or even to any heavenly planet, you remain individual. So that is the biggest pain when sometimes when elderly people like father or teacher, whatever it is, when they start to generalize. Why? That fellow can do, why he cannot do? Right? Sometimes in the temple we see, when they start to do some kind of service, why they all cannot do, why he cannot do? Why you're so special? We cannot say that. Because we must understand every one of us are individual. All right? What is an example? When you look at the thumbprint, you all got a thumbprint, right? Do you know your thumbprint is only yours? Your thumbprint never existed before. When you're going to look back in history, no one has the thumbprint like you. And no one going to have the thumbprint like what you have in the future. The way you look, your DNA, it's not going to have in the future. It's only now and authentically for you. Why? Even if you see us, when you're going to look at this, what they call twins, like here we have a twin, Kribashini and Kribashini, right? There's a twin girls here. So the twins, even though they twin, they look so much alike. Actually, they're not alike because my father-in-law is an identical twin. All right, my father-in-law is identical twin, but you can see there are some kind of different. Okay, you can see you can differentiate them. So in other words, we are individual person, and we are given. That means the nature has paid attention on us and created us in a very authentic way. Very authentic way. Because you know why? You are a spiritual part of Krishna, and you are given this material, and it's created in such a way that is only authentically yours, and no one's going to have it in the future, and no one has it behind. Imagine how wonderful. For millions of years, trillions of men passed through this world, and everyone was created in an authentic, individual way. So we must understand, we are all individual soul. We are not a random person. Right? So you as a soul, you is unbreakable, insoluble, and can be neither burnt nor dried. Right? You cannot be dried means what? You cannot become like a ikan kering or karvadi. You cannot be dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere. Okay, you are everywhere. You have gone through everywhere. There's every place you can see. There's a lot of microbes, a lot of virus and all these things. There's a soul inside. That's why they are moving. Unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. You're always the same. In 25, Krishna says, it is said the soul is invisible. Why? Why the soul is invisible? Because the size of the soul, you take a tip of your hair, and cut into 10,000 pieces. That is the size of the soul, which is not conceivable by human being or naked eyes. They can't see under the microscope, nothing. You can't see it. It's invisible, so tiny. That's why in the tiniest microbes, there is a soul there. Inconceivable, that means cannot be understood. And immutable, that means the soul cannot stay quiet in one place. Have you seen anything that stay put? No. Even the tree who stands there also have some kind of activity, it moves. Right? It can never stay put in one place. So now Krishna says, knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Okay? You should not grieve to the body because the body is on the path of destruction. Every one of us are sure to die. Now it's 2024. Imagine 50 years down the road, 2074. Imagine how many of us are going to be around. All right, 2024. What happened in 2124? 100 years down the road. All right, 100 years down the road. All of us guaranteed won't be around. We are confirmed to give up this material body definitely within this 21-24. So what it says, that's why Krishna says, so now you all understand that. So it says that you should not grieve. So what we can understand from this, that whenever the death comes or whatever comes, it's part of the natural process. No point crying and lamenting, no matter what. The person is not going to come back. And when you understand that, you know what happened? Half of your depression, stress gone. Okay? Half of your stress, everything's gone. I know this is going to happen and this is going to happen. When the thing happens, it's just part of the natural process. Okay? Now let's look at another one. Okay, what are the other things? Okay, now 27 and 28. Let's see what Krishna says. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvang janma mrityasya cha tasmat apariharyerte natvang shochitam arhasi avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidananyeva tatra ka paridevana. What Krishna says here. Okay, he says, one who has taken birth, sure to die. Okay, sure to die. And after death, one is sure to be taken birth again. After die, we're going to be born again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Again, Krishna is saying, do not lament. Because that's the biggest stress Arjuna is going through. Try to reflect in your own life. Is there anything that happened that you have been so much of depressed, so much of stress, right? All this while I was thinking is a theory because I've never experienced anyone dying until 6 years ago when my father left his body. That's when the reality struck me. I was heartbroken. I was sad. I was like devastated. But later I start to realize, well, this is what's supposed to happen. Should I sit and lament? Should I sit and cry? Should I sit and howl and cry? No. When people came for my father's funeral, everybody got a shock. You know why? All of us were singing kirtan and dancing. My children all start dancing. Everybody got a shock. Hey, come on, going for an Indian funeral. They'll be screaming until 10 house can hear. All right. But go to this particular house, all were singing kirtan and dancing. Anyway, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just giving an example on my personal example. All right. With due respect, I'm not saying anything about others. Okay. Of course, because we are an individual soul, all of us have an individual way of expressing our grief or happiness. All right. That's the thing. Okay. It's out of the topic. Okay. Now, but I want you to think about this. It's unavoidable. Okay. So now in 28, it says all created beings are manifest in their beginning. First, they'll appear in the beginning, manifest in the interim, okay, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need there for lamentation? Krishna is asking. In other words, formerly we were in unmanifest state. When we came from our father's semen, entered into the mother's womb, egg, we were unmanifested. After we went through that and enter into that mother's egg, then we start to transform. All right, as a baby in an unmanifest state. Then after that, we born to this world, we are manifested, we appeared. Okay. Then after appeared and everything, after we die, we go back to the unmanifest state again. That means we disappear again. So now Krishna is saying, so what need there for lamentation? Why you want to lament now? No need. Right? Okay. Now the example that we can think about is the Chitraketu Maharaj. He was a king. It is a story from Srimad Bhagavatam. After so long, he never had a child. After all the prayer and everything, suddenly he had a child. But the child dies young, in a baby. So he was lamenting and crying. The whole palace was crying, lamenting. So Narada Muni came to visit the king. When he came to visit the king, he saw that everybody was so depressed. He said, what happened? He said, my child, my newborn died. I said, really? Then Chitraketu begged Narada Muni, can you bring back my child? I want my child back. Please bring him back. So at that moment, what happened? So when he wanted to bring back the child, what do you call? Then with the mystic power brought the child back. At the same time, Narada Muni have blessed the child with his, we can remember all his previous birth. So suddenly when the child baby got up and start talking, can you imagine a child baby start talking? So everybody was like astonished. So the king started to shout, oh, my son, my son, my son. And suddenly the baby looked at the king and said, you? I'm your son? Who are you? You don't know me? I'm your father. Father? Which father? Then everybody got a shock. What do you mean, which father? He said, I've gone through so many births. I have seen so many fathers. So you are in which father? You are my father in which place? Right? And that's when there's a story about Bhagavatam. So that's the thing. So let me see, you see that every one of us are keep going and taking up birth after birth after birth. Okay, but any good news is Bhagavad Gita teaches how to stop that. How not to be born again. Born again in this miserable condition. Okay, we study as we go on. So in 231, Swadharmang api cha aveshya navikampitum arhasi dharmyadi yudak treyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. What does it mean? So Krishna is saying, considering your specific duty as Kshatriya, specific duty, that means Arjuna is a Kshatriya, warrior, you should know that there is no better engagement other than fighting on religious principle. And there's no need for hesitation. So Arjuna, then after that, after talking about all this, now Krishna starts to speak about his duty as a Kshatriya. So what he says, knowing you as a Kshatriya, you are a warrior, you should not lament. Because every warrior, they are just waiting for the opportunity to execute their job, to fight the war. Now you got a chance to fight, so do not lament and do not hesitate not to discharge your duty. Okay, so is there any questions or any comment? Can we take a short break now? Hare Krishna. Everyone is there?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so now it's 8:46. Shall we take a short break of 3 minutes? 8:46, just 4 minutes. We meet back at 8:50. All right. So let's take a short break, and after that we're going to continue with another following chapters. Thank you. So let's go for a break. Hare Krishna. All right. So let's resume our discussion. Okay. So now we said, right? Okay. So why we stopped here? We said about in 2031, Krishna is asking. So what is that? The specific duty of Kshatriya. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Hare Krishna. Sorry. Okay. Let's look at. Okay. Now, when we look at this example, okay, in 231, 237, refuting enjoyment argument. Okay, he's telling, you know, if I kill all these people, what is the point? What am I going to enjoy? Okay, so when you look at this, when you fight, what happens if you don't fight? He'll gone into infamy. That means he'll be called a coward. No, it's so it's so disgracing for him. But if he fight, if he wins, he get earthly kingdom. But if he don't win, he lost in the battle, that means lost in death, he will have heavenly planets. He will reach heavenly planet. So that means it says in this verse 237, O son of Kunti, either you will be killed in the battlefield and attain the heavenly planet, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. You will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. So Krishna is saying there's no loss or diminution. What does that mean? First of all, we must understand. Okay. First of all, when we are trying to progress, the first question is, we should ask, who am I? But this is the crucial question that we forget to ask. What is the common question we ask? Why me? Why this thing is happening to me? What did I do wrong? Why other people are not having it? You know, like sometimes they say, I've been such a nice person, very clean and habit and everything. But why me? I've been praying to you and I've been very pious. Why the suffering come to me? Why me? Right? Always we have that kind of things, pitiful meaning. Why? Why me? Why me? So the real question we have to ask, K Ami in Bengali, it says, who am I? That's the first question that we all should ask ourselves. Who am I? Why am I put into this kind of difficult situation? Are we really happy? Are we really contented? Okay. When we are say like some of you should be, average, our age gap is around average 45. We have average of 40 to 45. So we have gone through this life for 40 to 45 years. What have I seen in life? Am I happy? Right? We must understand all the happiness and distress will pass through just like how the season passing through. Right? A day come, no, we have been suffering from a hot sun until typing all the lake, the typing lake all got dried up. But so terribly heaty. But since yesterday, today, it's raining. I'm not sure about your place, but Ipoh has been raining since yesterday, every evening. But now I think rain is very consistent. So as how the hot season passed through, the rainy season comes. So once the rainy season comes, oh, so nice to sleep, shocked to sleep, very nice, enjoy life, so nice. But we must understand, in just a couple of these things, the rain will go away and the sun, the heat will come back again. So as how the happiness and suffering will come to you without you, even you need to ask. We do not need to ask, hey, I don't want happiness, I don't want suffering, I only want happiness. No, you are granted. Right? It's just like a passing cloud. At the time, you don't need to pray for day, to sun to rise. The sun will rise by itself. When the sun rises, you do not need to pray for the sun to set. The sun will set by itself. Similarly, the happiness and distress, you do not need to pray or ask, it will come. But the question is, why? Who am I? Why am I suffering? Why am I in this awkward position? Okay, what is my relationship? What is my duty? And what is my mission? These are the questions a person should ask. When that person asks this kind of question, that's when the intelligence starts. Because our life starts with question. As a human being, we are questioning every day. We wake up in the morning. We look at our children. Good morning. How are you? It's a question. Right? Then looking at the wife. Are you okay? Done? Okay, we break your breakfast? Question. Get into the car. The driver, if you take Grab or something like that, they'll ask you a question. Where do you want to go? Are you going to on this way? Okay. Then, or if you take the car, you want to go pour petrol, you go to the station and the fella asks you how much. Okay. Then you go to work, you look at the security guard, they say, hi, how are you? Then you go to work, everything. Every day we are asking question after question after question after question. Yes, we are asking question. So we have to ask that ultimate question in life. The ultimate question in life, who am I? We forget to ask that question. Why? Because we are not exposed to that. Like once I was hearing one class, they say, oh, people are so stupid, they don't ask question. I said, no, I don't agree to that statement. I don't agree to that statement says people are stupid. People are ignorant. What is ignorant? Ignorant means they do not know. They do not know that there is such thing. So when we trigger that kind of question, there's two ways they can learn. One is through severe suffering and miserable condition. Why? Who am I? Why am I like this? Why? Who am I? Or second is when triggered by a devotee or person. Do you know who are you? Who am I? You're not this body. Really? Then who am I? Do you know that body that you live in is only temporary? Well, I have not thought about it. Do you know you had a beautiful body before as a baby? Yes. When you're young, you're so good looking, sexy and everything. Yes. Now look at yourself. You have gone old. Your hair turned gray. Your eyes start dwindling. Your tooth start falling. You can't even climb the staircase. You're panting. Right? Yeah. Your skin starts sagging. Yes. What does it mean? And soon, the day will come. Your body cannot evolve and go further. Yes. And you're going to die. Yes. Yeah, true, lah. Yeah, true. I never thought about it. And you know what is the best thing? When you start to see people are dying around you, you think you're going to live forever. That's the biggest joke. Yeah, true. Now the question is, do you want to put a full stop to this? Do you want to put a full stop? Yes. Then you should know who are you. You have to go to that thing called self-realization. You must know who are you. So who am I? You are a very powerful person. You are part and parcel of God. You are Jivatma. There's a verse, 5.1. Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. So that means what? Sachidananda Vigraha. Sat means eternal. Chit means full of knowledge. Ananda means beautiful. Vigraha means form. So Krishna had an eternal, beautiful, the form full of knowledge and beautiful form. That is God. And do you know something? You have that also. That means, am I Sachidananda Vigraha? Yes, you are. How does that mean? How am I supposed to be Sachidananda Vigraha? That means I am eternal. My form is full of knowledge. And I got a beautiful form. Yes, Vigraha means form. But why am I suffering? Because you are infused into a material body. You are part of God, but in your forgetfulness, you are thrown into the condition where your package deal comes in a material body. Just imagine you're such a good driver. All right? You're such a good, able driver. You're a F1 driver or whatever. Suddenly, your father gives you a junk car. The car that doesn't go beyond 40 kilometers per hour and the whole body starts shaking. Who to blame? Can we say, oh, I'm such a good driver, but I'm driving a junk? Yeah, the body is junk. It's made of this material element. So what should I do now? The secret is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So that's an example I'm giving. So that's the first question that we all should ask. Who am I? When we start to answer, let me stop. So when we start to ask question, who am I? That's when another question will follow. What am I? Then another question will come. What is my duty? Another question will come. What is my sambandha, my relationship? And that's when we start to inquire. Okay. So today we have already, so far we have already spoke about Sankhya Yoga. The analytical study, description, knowledge of the soul and the body. We know the soul is eternal. The body is temporary. The body, we have passed through the body so many times and give up, and we're going to continue with so many other bodies, right? So now let's talk about Buddhi Yoga. That means work in Krishna conscious in full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. Now we asked a question, who am I? Let's see what is the answer. 239. Esha te bibita shanke buddhir yoge tvimang shrinu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandang prahasyasi. So Krishna says, Lord Krishna says, thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study, through the scientific study. Now listen, Krishna says, as I explain the terms in working without fruitive results, how we can do our job without expecting any fruitive result. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. That means how? That means how we can work without doing expectation. Because expectation is cause of all depression. So how you can do without fruitive knowledge? Why? What does it mean by fruitive knowledge? Right? Fruitive, pala. Okay. Fruitive means when I plant a tree, I am expecting the end result, the fruit. Okay, we do everything, we are looking for fruits, we are looking for some benefit. In Tamil, we call palangal. Enna palan kadaikum senja palan. Palan means fruit. So that means it's fruitive. That means you say how we can do without expecting the fruit, without fruitive activity. Okay, that can free ourselves from bondage. 40. Now Krishna says, start with this. What is their advantage? Now 39, now 40, Krishna start to speak. Okay, when he start to speak about fruitive knowledge, he start to say, na neha bikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate svalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. What he says? In this endeavor, what endeavor? That means working without fruitive result. Just doing a job or engaging in a devotional service. What he says? There is no loss or diminution. It is not wasted at all. And little advancement, that means we just little advance in this path can protect one from what? Most dangerous type of fear. It can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Just give me a second. So it will protect us from the most dangerous type of fear. And what is the dangerous type of fear? The dangerous type of fear that we do not fall into animal kingdom. That means now you are listening to Bhagavad Gita for just, let's say, just 1 hour plus we have been listening. Say after this you stop. I said, that's it. I'm not going to do this anymore. But your seed of bhakti has been fructified. You have already taken the step. So by this, that you will never lose. You're going to be born again as a human being. You're going to continue where you stopped. Example, in this life, you can be a very highly scholarly person. You can be say if you're a doctor, very highly qualified, educated, PhD or whatever. But once you go to next life, you still have to start back from zero. You have to still start back from ABC. You cannot say in previous birth, I've been such a great scholar. No, you still have to start from ABC. But when we practice bhakti, in this life, you practice to one level, then you stop. But when you're born again in next birth, you're going to continue where you stopped. The place you stopped, you're just going to continue. All right? So that is the advantage of bhakti. So in 246, let's see what Krishna says. Just give me a second. Huh? Let's see what Krishna says. Yavan artha udapane sarvata sampluto dake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata. What does it mean? He says, all the purpose the small well can do, the small little well, at once can be served by the big reservoir of water. What are the things that small well can give you? Also can be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas, can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. When starts before 5,000 years before, in previous Yuga, all the great sages realize people in Kali Yuga will have short life, right? Will have a very short life. Then they will have a very short memory, and they'll be very unfortunate. So they cannot study and understand the Vedas. The Vedas is vast. So what did Vyasadeva did? Vyasadeva came, he picked all the Vedas and started to document. He started to document the Vedas. So in the future, people can read and understand, because they don't have the memory. They can read and understand the Vedas. So he compiled it. Once he compiled the Veda, it's such a huge book. So what happened? He divided the Vedas into 4. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. So he started to break the Vedas into 4. After he started to break the Vedas into 4, and what he did, he gave each Veda to each disciple. Jaimini, Patanjali, and all these 4 disciples, he started to give. Each they give 1 Veda. All right. So when he start to give the Vedas, what happened? The disciple take the Vedas and start to further create summary. He start further break it into small pieces so that people can easily understand. Right? They start to take and start to like break it into small portion. Like Bhagavad Gita, only 700 verses. Like Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. They start to make it smaller and smaller and smaller. Right? So when they start to make it smaller and smaller, okay, like for instance, Sri Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad total, when you look at Ishopanishad, this book, it is come from Yajur Veda, and in Yajur Veda there's two what they call 2 division, Krishna Paksha, Shukla Paksha. That means in the place of there's a dark side and the bright side. Shukla means dark, bright. Krishna Paksha means dark side. So on that bright side, okay, so the Sri Ishopanishad come from that brighter side of the Samaveda in one of the portion. And that Ishopanishad only have 18 verses, 18 mantras. So like that, they start to divide into small pieces so people can digest. So like that, there are some millions of Vedas. But now, what is that ultimate benefit? What is the ultimate goal of studying Vedas? For what? Now I'm going to kindergarten. Okay, my child go to the kindergarten. So I give the best education. Send them to the best kindergarten. Not the ordinary one, very expensive one. Then after that, the fellow go to standard 1. I choose the best school for him. Right? Maybe international or whatever. Then the fellow go to Form 3, Form 5, okay, I give the best tuition. So he do very well in his SPM. Then after that, maybe you do STPM or foundation. Then after that, we choose his whatever career that he want to do. Give him the best university. Then after go to the university, why I need to sacrifice my life doing that? What is the reason? What is the purpose behind it? The purpose behind it is so that my child can have a good education, good exposure, that one day he can get a good job. What is the purpose? So that he can have a lot of money. So the money and being comfortable in this world, I have been working all my life to provide for my children. So you're going to have a good, fantastic life. So that is the purpose of education. Right? The purpose is to so that my child will have a beautiful, comfortable life. Okay. So similarly, what is the purpose of the studying of the entire Vedas? What is that purpose? So he says the purpose, that means similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. And who is that person? In 15:15, Krishna says, Vedaischa sarver ahang eva vedyo. This is by all Vedas, I am to be known. I am to be known. The entire Vedas, what is the conclusion of the entire Vedas? To know me. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says very clearly in chapter 15, text 15. Vedaischa. That means the Vedas, sarver, entire, sarva. Sarva means entire. Aham means me. Aham means me. Eva Vedyo, to be known. All right. So that's the thing. So that's the ultimate conclusion that Bhagavad Gita is saying. Because when you're going to study all the entire Vedas, we don't have a lifetime. But now Krishna in his 500 verses, he will establish himself. That is what summary that we're going to study now. Of course, as we go on in Bhagavad Gita, we're going to expand it. But here is giving a synopsis that I to be known. Okay, 47. Karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbur ma te sangostva karmani. What it means? He says, now Krishna says, you have right to perform your prescribed duty. Because now Krishna says, Arjuna is telling you, I have surrendered unto you as a disciple. Give me instruction. Tell me what should I do for certain. So now is Krishna saying, you have the right to perform your prescribed duty. But you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities. And never be attached to not doing your duty. Example, if you are a doctor working in emergency department, that's the most terrible place to work. Because every day you're seeing patients who are terribly injured after accident and everything. Every time you see so many people dying right in front of your eyes, you try to save the flood dies. Oh my God, so terrible. Okay, like other units, of course, people are diseased and everything, they suffer. But imagine in that emergency department, and especially if in emergency HKL, terrible. Or in HRPB, EPO, terrible. Every day there'll be accidental death. That day I met one guy working in mortuary. I said, is there a day that you get a break? He said, never. 365 days, every day there's someone dying, need post-mortem. Right? So imagine if you are a doctor who are in that emergency department and you start to say, why everybody dies in front of me? So I'm going to quit my job. I don't want to do it. Is that possible? Oh, secondly, you said, yeah, I tried to save the person, but the flood died. I'm so depressed. I want to resign. Why people die? You cannot do that. Your job as a doctor, when the patient comes in, you try to stabilize and try to save his life as much as you can before you refer to any particular surgeon. Right? But when the patient comes and you try to this thing and the flood dies, it's not in your hand. Whether the flood live or die, it's not in your hand. Your job is to do what you're supposed to do. Stabilize and try to give the first aid and try to save him. Then after that, send to any particular department like orthopedic or whatever, you just send. But your first duty is, that's it. So you cannot say, oh, why? That means, that's why he says, that means I do my job, whether the flood live or don't live, is not in my hand. That means I'm not entitled for the fruits of the action. After that, Krishna says, never consider yourself the cause of the result. When the flood dies, it's not because of you. When the flood lives, it's not because of you. That is his karma, his whatever journey that he have taken. Right? But because of that, it's not necessary, hey, I'm not going to work, I quit. No such thing. You have to still do your job as a doctor. All right? So I hope you understand this. 49. Now, this is one of my favorite verse. What it says, Durena hyavarang karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, buddhau sharanam anvicha, kripana palahetava, durena means far away. In Tamil, we call duram, durathala eri, durena, duram, far away. So what Krishna says, durena. What? Hya avaram karma. Abominable. Here avara means is abominable, nasty things. Karma, activity. Then buddhi yoga. Use that intelligence. Okay. Buddhau sharanam anvicha. That means through that buddhi yoga, you have that intelligence. Sharanam anvicha. Surrender to me. If not, kripana. Kripana means is miserable, misery. Okay, misery. Pala. Pala means palam, fruit. Or in Tamil, we call palan. Palangal, edirpaakkarathu. Palan. Hey tava. You're going to get it. So in other words, let's look at this translation. Oh, Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya. Remember, I told that Arjuna's name is Dhananjaya, the one winner of the wealth. So Krishna says, oh, Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. What we can understand from here? That means we understand that we only can get purified from our abominable activities is through devotional service. Through devotional service. So all the devotional service that we are performing, we are reading Bhagavad Gita, we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are eating prasad. What is that purpose? So that we can purify ourselves. So through that, what happened? Krishna says, true devotional service, all that impurities, keep it far away, because it's understood that devotional service can bring us out from all these kind of impurities, all these kind of nasty things. Put it far distant. And after that, what Krishna says, in that consciousness, we are purifying ourselves through the devotional service. And in that consciousness of mind, what Krishna says, surrender unto the Lord. So in between, when we try to surrender unto the God, we are only trying our best. But Krishna says very clearly, Durena. If you know Sanskrit, if you know Tamil, you understand what I'm talking about. Durena. Avaram. Avaram karma. Nasty things. Buddhi, intelligent or devotional service. Right? So I say, that means put all this through the devotion. Okay, for instance, by devotional service. In that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. But after that, he says another thing. Buddha, okay, Kripana, okay. Buddha Sharanam Anvicha. Those who want to enjoy their fruits, Kripana Palahetava. That means those who want to enjoy the fruits of their labor, they are misers. They are live in a miserable place. All right. So that's the thing. So that means we always try to engage ourselves. Okay. We are trying to engage ourselves by devotional service. So that means devotional service actually purifies ourselves. What is a devotional service? We'll study that later. There's one chapter dedicated to devotional service. All right, we go on. But now Krishna is just giving some hint. All right. So what? Keep away all these abominable. If you want to get rid of Krishna, telling Krishna, you keep all the abominable activities by devotional service. Can you imagine in the middle of the warfare, what devotional service can he do? Can he wash pot? Can he clean the temple? Can he cook something and offer to Krishna? Can he sit and chant Hare Krishna? Or can he sit and read Vedas? What is the devotional service he's talking about? In the middle of the warfare. So what is a devotional service? Of course, we're going to discuss this in further as we go on. But let me give you a small hint. This devotional service, anything that we do to please the Lord is devotional service. So what are the things that we can do to please the Lord? Chant Hare Krishna. Number 2, read Bhagavad Gita. You please the Lord. Number 3, if possible, distribute Bhagavad Gita. Now you understand. This Bhagavad Gita is a solution. It's the only solution that's spoken 5,000 years ago, valid till today. Right? So when you see that people are depressed, people are frustrated in life, you know, we can think about curing ourselves with some kind of, due to some fortunate thing, you know, we are trying to, like, you know, come out of it. No, we escape something. Sometimes, like just now, I think there's one girl says, you know, she was attempted, but of course she got some kind of higher sense. She came out of it. Yeah, that's very good. But how many of the people out there are as fortunate as you? So we should think. Now think about a person who are very depressed, who you think this Gita can help them. We are not asking you to sell anything else. We are not asking you to sell some kind of mumbo jumbo kind of things so that I make profit. We want to distribute what? We want to distribute the sacred Bhagavad Gita. We want to distribute the sacred Bhagavad Gita so that everyone can benefit from this book. Right? We are not asking them to do any kind of ritual. We are not asking them to do this. We are just telling them, own a Gita and read Gita daily. All right? It helps. Okay, so what it says, so those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. All right? So that means, he says, that means when we are trying to enjoy, okay, when we example like you know, like some of the things that what usually I do, I wake up early in the morning, I just tell Krishna, I offer my day to you. This is the day that I dedicate to you, I surrender to you. Whatever good or bad is all basically your blessings. So what happened? Suddenly some kind of challenges come to me. I say, oh, these challenges that it's not supposed to be mine. But anyway, Krishna, give me, you know, you can, your psychologically, you can be very steady on this. But what happened if you don't do that? You work so hard, right? Example, you work so hard and you don't get the result as you wanted. What happened? You end up frustrated. You become miserable. Right? So that's why it's a kripana. Kripana means those who want to enjoy the fruit of their labor work is a miser. All right, now let's look at this. Now there's a very nice explanation. Fruit of the result of fruitive activities. Okay, and Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means Krishna conscious. Okay, what is this? So let's see. What is that? Fruitive activity number one. Loss of diminution is the result. Okay, so when we are involved in this kind of fruitive activity, so what is the result? Loss or diminution of the result. That means now, as a doctor, if I die this birth, next birth, I can never be a doctor. Everything, all the thing I've learned is gone with me. All the fruitive activity, number two, it incurs sin. Okay, does not get rid of good and bad reaction. That means it doesn't get rid of Kutta karma and Prarabdha karma. And another thing, no guarantee of human life in next birth. In next birth is no guarantee I'll be born as a human being. Okay, oops, this thing, my hand is raised. All right, then intelligence is not fixed. Okay, my intelligence is not fixed. Okay, intelligence is not fixed, and no peace and no happiness. Of course, there's no peace and no happiness. And this result entangle one to the fruitive result. It creates entanglement. Okay, talking about entanglement, what does it mean? When I was young time, I used to see spider web. In that spider web, I see whenever any insect stuck to the web, the spider will come and wrap it. Mummify, it becomes a mummy. I was so fascinated. So what I do, I take the small end and throw into the web. You know, when I take the small end, poof, and the end will go and stuck to the web. Immediately you see the spider will run down and wrap it. So there is entanglement. Okay, once you entangle, that's it. So result in entanglement. And after that, entangle one to work. Okay, what happened when we work in Krishna consciousness? No loss or diminution of the result. Okay, no loss. That means when you're going to, whatever you stopped here, you're going to continue in your next birth. There's no loss. It's mentioned in 240. Does not incur sin. Okay, it doesn't, this attempt does not create sin. At the same time, it gets rid of good and bad karma. It gets rid. That means Kutta karma, Prarabdha karma can be destroyed. Okay, one is sure to be born as a human being. Okay, where? Either in the family of a cultured Brahmana or rich aristocrat. So sure to be born as a human being means as a human being, there are 400,000 types. What happens if you born in the deep forest of Amazon as Aborigine? Or what happens if I born into the family of Zulu? Right, like in Africa, they'll be jumping. Or what happens if I born into this kind of jungle? Terrible, right? But here what Krishna says, you will be born as a human being guaranteed, but where are you going to born? You'll be born into the cultured Brahmana or devotee or a rich and aristocrat family. Okay, it's in 240 perpet. Then, intelligence is fixed and resolute. Result in peace and happiness. Result in liberation and free one from bondage of work. Okay, so now 254. Let's see. Arjuna Vacha Sita Pranyasya Ka Bhasha Samadhis Tasya Keshava Sitadi Kim Prabhasheta Kim Asita Vrajeta Kim. So now Arjuna is saying, Arjuna said, oh Krishna, now he's wondering, well, okay, what he says is okay, but now what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendent? What are the people, right? What are the symptoms of one who consciousness thus become in transcendent, becomes purified? The transcendentalist, how does he speak? How does he speak? And what is his language? And how does he sit and how does he walk? So because Arjuna wants to know how this devotee look like. How do they do? So now let's look at this. How does he speak in 256 and 57? Okay. The question implies, what the actual question implies is how the intelligence and word respond to affection. How the intelligence and words respond to affection, anger, and neutrality. Okay. How this intelligent, okay, and how you respond to affection, anger, and neutrality. Because when you start to see the affection, when we have affection towards someone, especially now you see the elderly people, they have so much of affection to their children. They have so much of affection. And through that affection creates attachment. And when affection and attachment become so strong, when we see our son or daughter married, we try to be overprotective over the children, over the son or daughter. And whenever the spouse, the wife or husband come and say something, we get very upset. Okay, why are you talking like that to my child? All right. And you love your son so much. And suddenly the son feels, well, okay, dad, I think you're too old. And they throw you into this old folks home. What happened? That's when the anger will arise. So now Krishna, I mean, so affection, anger is something, this thing. And of course, neutrality. How? So the answer is, in 256, Krishna gives equipoised in happiness and distress. That means the intellectual people who are, their mind is full in transcendent, they are equipoised. Equipoised means they are in the middle. They are beyond happiness and distress. Because they know happiness, distress is all bodily. When the happiness and distress will come, when I'm attached to something, and through that attachment, when that attachment pleases me, I'm happy. When the attachment don't pleases me, I'm upset, distressed. What does it mean? When that attachment, when I start to see the one that I attached to, they are too successful, they start to do as what I want, I'm very happy. But at the same time, when I see the person that I'm attached to suddenly doesn't ignore me and everything betray me, I go into distress. So the person who above all these two, they are happy. They are the one equipoised. And of course, free from attachment, fear and anger. Because through attachment, fear arises, and through fear, anger arises. In 256. And number 3, unaffected by good and evil. That means these are the people that don't care about anything good or bad, and firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. Because they know anything good or bad is only on a bodily platform. Okay, only on a bodily platform. So that means the person is not affected. It's in 257. Okay, now the next thing is, how does he sit? The next question. The question implies how he restrains his sense and mentality, how he controls his senses and also his mind. So the answer is, he uses his senses only for Krishna service. Example, so that he only uses his senses. Like, for instance, I love to eat. So what I do, I cook something very nice, offer to Krishna and eat it as prasadam. So tongue, I'm engaging in the sense of, in the service of Krishna. The nose, I'm using it to smell fragrance, that flowers that offer to Krishna. The ears, I'm using my ears to listen to the Krishna story and of course kirtan and japa. All right. So like that, you start to engage. Okay, only to that Krishna service. Based on what? Higher taste. Higher taste. He can control his senses. Analogy is like tortoise and devotee. Okay, just the analogy that they give is tortoise. So implies to keep senses always in service of the Lord and withdraw the sense when it's not required. See, when you look at the tortoise, all right, it will be just going around, but when someone goes near, or when the thing is not required, he pulls everything back into the shell. So similarly, this kind of devotee will engage in this service. They always engage in, use all their senses in the service of the Lord. When the thing is not required, they pull back into the shell. All right. But sometimes you may wonder, can I do all this? You have to know first before you start to do. All right. Like some of you may think, hey, why are these rules and regulations? Do you think I can do it or not? We are not, doesn't matter. Whether you can do it or not, it's only second. But you must get to know what are the things. When you get to know, that's when you start to put an effort to that. Right? Now, for instance, when we are studying law, okay, when we study law, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be a lawyer. Example, I'm studying this law of Malaysia. So as a citizen of this country, I must know certain laws. If I go to Singapore, they'll be given a small book. What are the do's and don'ts in Singapore? You cannot spit on the road. You cannot eat chewing gum. That's it. You get fined. So I'm studying that book. Is it to become a lawyer? No, I need to know. After that, I will attempt to do it. So all these things are in a general is giving, but of course, all this will be elaborated very detailed in the next 16 chapters. Because here, as you know, Gita summarized. So Krishna is giving a synopsis. From here, it's going to expand the story. Now, how does he walk? Implies how does he engage his sense? So what he says, while engaging senses, he does with regulation and religious principle. That means whatever things that he do in the sense of regulation. That means there's a kind of regulation, the 4 regulation. We will discuss this as we go on. What is the 4 regulation? All right. And with religious principle. Okay. Now it is the last verse. So let's look at 272. Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha nainang prapya vimuyati stitvasyang antakalepi brahma nirvanam rachati. What does it mean? That is the way of spiritual and godly life. So now we want to know what is the spiritual. So in the future, when you start to see people, now you can discriminate. When someone come and tell, I'm a spiritualist, you can check for yourself, does he have all these qualities? Especially like so-called Mahan or something like that. You know where to check and balance. So the Krishna says that is the way of spiritual and godly life. All right. But after that, what is the advantage of doing this? After attaining which a man is not bewildered. When a person comes to this, he will never be bewildered. Okay. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, even when a person can remain like this at the time of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So now Krishna starts introducing how we can go into a situation where you're going to be eternally situated. Eternity. All right. So that's the thing. So take this commitment, RDC formula. This is the basic way of starting your devotional service. Very simple. Read Bhagavad Gita, of course. RDC means first you read Bhagavad Gita every day. Make sure you make it a habit to read every day. Second, you distribute Bhagavad Gita because you understand. We want to distribute Bhagavad Gita because we want to save a friend from severe depression, severity of a situation. At least when they start to read, they're going to have some kind of hope. Okay? We are not trying to be a salesman here, right? We are just trying to distribute so that everyone can have that opportunity. At the same time, think of person, who do you think that going to be benefit from this program? And ask them, encourage them to sign up for September. We're going to do this program again. Like I have taken my break from my active business and all these things, and I've dedicated, maybe the things inspired me to go ahead and do this program twice a day, morning and evening, right? Twice a day. So that means I've taken up this challenge. Of course, I don't say anything, but for the sake of my spiritual master, and of course, to sake that I think I need to reach out and help as much people as possible because I have benefited it. All right. So so what are we going to do? So and at the same time, we also distribute those who don't have a Bhagavad Gita. What are you going to do? You can own a Bhagavad Gita, and when you buy it from me, you also have it with the Japa Mala. Okay. So that means, it's not mentioned here. All right. So it comes with one Bhagavad Gita, a set of chanting beads. Okay. A set of chanting beads along with one small altar, only for 50 ringgit, including shipping. The price of this what they call Gita, I think it's around 40, 45 ringgit, outside 40, 45. And the shipping cost, say 10 ringgit, 13 ringgit actually, when I pack up with all this. So it's around, say 40, then going to cost you 53, plus the set is 10, 20, 53, 73, plus, okay. So it's going to cost you something like 73, 80 ringgit. But of course, we try to subsidize because we have people who have came to donate these books and everything, or they donate towards to reduce the price. So the book, the set of Japa Mala, including one small Japa, what they call the chanting bag kit, all for only 50 ringgit. For 50 ringgit, I can send to you. At the same time, tomorrow is a what they call this Adi Amavasya. You also can make a point to pledge some books. Okay, you can pledge the book. Say, like example, when you donate 100 ringgit, example, what I will do, I will reduce 10 ringgit from per book. Example, if the price of the book is 40, when you donate 100, I will reduce 10 ringgit from 10 books. All right, 10 ringgit from 10 books. So, and another person donate another 100, example, I will reduce further. That means the 40 ringgit book becomes 30, the 30 ringgit book become 20, the 20 ringgit book even you can become 10. So whenever I go and give, and people just give me 1 ringgit donation, so I will give them on Bhagavad Gita. Right? So your influence is not, but some people say, hey, I would like to take some books and give it away for free. It's up to you. You can do it if you want to. But what you go, okay, say example, if one book costs you 40 ringgit, for 100 ringgit, maybe you can buy only 2 books. You add on another 20, you can have 3 books for 120. But what happens if I just use your influence of 100 ringgit and reduce 10 ringgit, your influence has gone into 10 Bhagavad Gita, which is more beneficial. Through this program, in the year 2021, I've distributed 5,400 Bhagavad Gita. So I thought of doing it again. Okay. So you can think about it if you like to donate. But if you don't have a set, please get one. But of course, you must understand this Bhagavad Gita should be personal. It is not meant for, you can share. That means my Bhagavad Gita, you read, you know. You must have your own personal Bhagavad Gita. If you have a family of 4 or 5, encourage them each to have their own personal Bhagavad Gita. It is very important. Okay. So tomorrow, we're going to discuss Karma Yoga. Of course, tomorrow you must understand, tomorrow there's no morning class because Sunday morning class, break on Sunday morning, because I'm giving class on Sunday morning, temple, Sunday program, Sunday morning program. So there's no morning program, but this chapter 3 Karma Yoga, we're going to discuss in the evening. All right. So please, so Karma Yoga. All right. Okay. So we stop sharing here. So my hands is up. So what I humbly request everyone. Okay, yesterday we had so many people, but okay, but now we have less. I think yesterday we had something like 18 or 19. Now we only have 12. So if you think that today you have benefited from this class, again, as I said, put a small testimony and encourage everybody to not to miss the class. Okay. Of course, you can listen to that recording. Yes, something. Hey, I'm going to listen to. Yeah, fine. Now you can listen to the recording, but nothing can be like live telecast, live class. All right. So, so that's all. Okay. Is there any question? There's one question I saw. Tarnisha, Prabhu, do we need to ensure the people we are giving the Bhagavad Gita is reading or just give with hope they will read? Because I have been told by one that it's need to identify the person ready to read or not. Okay, you must understand one thing. Very good question you asked, Tanisha. Bhagavad Gita is like a time bomb. When you going to read, see, you must understand Bhagavad Gita is alive, is spirit, it's alive. When the Bhagavad Gita goes to one family, that means there's some kind of things. I mean, you cannot simply give a Bhagavad Gita. It has to decide to go where. And Bhagavad Gita is alive. Then when you keep a Bhagavad Gita there, don't worry whether they're going to read or don't read. It doesn't matter. But it's like a time bomb. When someone touch the book and start to read, that's it. All right. Of course, we will always try to encourage them. We say, why you should read Bhagavad Gita. That's why I ask you. You give them a Gita, tell them to join next session on our Gita Gyan program. Okay. Gita Gyan program, ask them to come and we will encourage them. When those people attend the Bhagavad Gita, this Gita Gyan, they will definitely take up Bhagavad Gita. I believe that you all have read chapter 1 and today and tomorrow morning, try to study your chapter 2. Okay, go through it and tomorrow we're going to discuss chapter 3. So that is important. So don't worry. Oh, I need to identify a person. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't ever think like that. Just give and see what happens. Because my experience, 31 years, right? Example, like my wife went for a surgery. We went and met the doctor. When you know what happened, the doctor said, the first thing when I met the doctor, because the doctor was retired from a government, now he has his private practice. The first thing doctor came and saw my wife, hey, I am still reading your book, you know. He had forgotten my wife's name. He had forgotten everything, but he remembered the Bhagavad Gita. Can you imagine? When he came and he said, hey, I'm reading your book, you know. I'm still reading your book. That was the first expression. Then after that, he said, why are you here? He said, no, doctor, I came for this. Then you should tell me. I should have let you in first. All right. I should have let you in first. Then after that, all this, whatever procedure check, he said, no need to pay. Then we said, no, doctor, he said, we are using, we are claiming insurance. So don't worry. Really, yeah? Sure, huh? Okay. Can you imagine? Even I have seen a person, I've given a Bhagavad Gita. I think, you know what? Every day I look at that Bhagavad Gita, I remember you. That guy is married for 15 years. 15 years ago, I gave a wedding present, a Bhagavad Gita. And he still remembers till today. All right, there's a devotee in Ipoh. His name is ASP, Assistant Superintendent of Police, retired, Mohandas. Okay, his initial name is Madhura Mohan. One day he told me, you know something, Prabhu? 25 years ago, in Batu Gajah, Murugan Temple Festival, you sold me that Bhagavad Gita. I say, really? I don't remember. Yes, I got a Bhagavad Gita. What happened? When I was a policeman in charge of that area during the festival, You came and approached me and said, I think you need to have a Bhagavad Gita for yourself. I said, yeah. Then after that, he just ignored. Then after that, the word I said, it was triggering him. Then he came to the stall. He said, tell me about this. And he bought. And today he's a regular devotee. Okay. So don't worry. Bhagavad Gita is truly an amazing book. Okay, Tanisha? Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So it's exactly 9:48. All right. We overshoot by 15 minutes. So is there any other questions? Any comment? Prabhashini Reho, I think I saw you in the morning. Is it your twin sister joined in the morning?
I'm not sure, Prabhu. No, she didn't join in the morning. No,
Did you join in the morning?
no, Prabhu. I'm just joining now in the evening.
Oh, because in the morning I saw one.
Oh, I see.
Because you are
Yeah,
your
that's
twin.
me.
All right. Okay. There's another chat. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, if there's no question, all right, please do me a favor. Please encourage everyone in the group to attend the class. Of course, it's so exciting to see so many people and so many people's lives start getting transformed. It's so exciting to see. And tomorrow morning, there's no class, but we're going to continue in the evening. And of course, tomorrow, don't miss the class because tomorrow is very auspicious RD Amavasya day. So tomorrow, come for the class. After the class, you just think about it and pray to Krishna, dear Krishna, whatever merit that I got today, I would like to offer it to my forefathers. Just a simple prayer. I offer whatever things, the benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita today, I would like to offer it to my godfathers, my forefathers. The one that I know, I don't know. Just let them, and please liberate them. You start to see wonders start happening. All right. So till then, have a nice, wonderful evening. Okay, today is a Saturday night. Of course, if those have gone reading a Bhagavad Gita, okay, it's very interesting. I see. And another thing I would like to humbly mention, whatever things that I've shared with you, nothing of this is my personal opinion. I just simply repeated what I've learned from my spiritual master and what I've learned from Srila Prabhupada and all the previous Acharya. Okay. If I've said anything wrong that I hurt anyone, kindly forgive me, because I need to speak Bhagavad Gita as it is, has been given by Srila Prabhupada. Till then, have a beautiful day. Vancha kalpata rubhyascha kripa sindhubevacha paditanam pavenebhyo vaishnavebhayo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Good night.
Hare
Have a nice day.
Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Especially the body, soul, and the
Thank you.
Thank you,
Ah.
Prabhu. Good night.
You see the body, what body you saw?
body, soul, and duty. They interact.
Oh, okay.
Was wonderful. If not
All
the
right,
soul
all right.
is not there, the body is doing another thing. The duty is offset already.
I
But this-
see, I see.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Prabhu.
Okay, bro. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.